Hello, mighty good friends. Welcome to Living a Mighty Good Life, brought to you by A Mighty Good Time. My name is Amy Temperley, and I'm one of the co-creators of A Mighty Good Time. We are a one-stop shop website where you can find activities, virtual, in-person, and phone-based from all around the world to help you live an active and engaged life. In this presentation, we're going to talk about making a plan. What are the components of an active aging life, and how can you put together those pieces so that it's not only healthy, good for your body, your mind, your soul, but joyful and things that you enjoy doing. For this session, you'll need a pen and a piece of paper so you can take some notes as we go along and start to create your own plan. But let's get started. This is one of my favorite quotes from Betty Friedan, which is, "Aging is not lost youth, but a new stage of opportunity and strength." And here on the left, you see Dorothy. Dorothy was 83 years old, went to go try silks and trapeze for the first time. And you can see the joy on her face when she was able to accomplish something new and different that maybe she'd never done before. And throughout our lifespan, there's opportunities to continue to do that and to explore and discover new ways to add value to our world. So aging has changed. We're living longer and healthier lives. We've got many more years to fill. If you retire at 65, you could very easily live to be well over 100 years old now. So what are you going to do with those 35 to 40 years? You may remember your grandmother sat in a rocking chair and did her knitting, and that's perfectly fine if that's your thing. But most of us today look at aging in a slightly different way. We know too that staying active is the key to better health, more joy, positive relationships, and maintaining our independence, which most of us find very important as we age. For our first prompt, I'd like you to take a moment just to jot down what it was like thinking back to your childhood. What gave you joy? What are the kinds of things that you enjoyed doing? Maybe you liked being outdoors. Maybe you loved music, spending time with friends and family. Did you have a hobby? Are there things that you collected? And what made you curious? What were the things that you explored in your world? Were there types of research that you like to do or topics that you like to study? So just take a moment and just jot down some of the things that you remember that gave you joy as a child. So prompt number 2, what has given you joy as an adult? Looking at your adult years from your 20s to your current age, whatever that may be. Again, what are the things that you've been doing? Now, many of us don't have a long list, to be honest. Very often we've raised family, we've worked really hard, and may not have had the time and the opportunity to do a lot of different things. But on your weekends, what were your hobbies? What were your activities? When you're hanging out with friends and family, do you like to eat? Do you like to play games? Do you go for walks? What has given you joy as an adult? So today we're going to make a plan. And this plan is going to have 5 basic components. By the end of this session, you will have a little pie chart plan for yourself. We're going to explore fitness, brain health, meaning and purpose, social, and fun. These are the key components of aging successfully. And by incorporating these pieces of the puzzle into our plan, we will be able to live fuller, more active, meaningful lives. So let's start with physical activity. And some of us kind of sigh and moan when you say that. Not everybody loves fitness in its defined version. Maybe you don't like to go to the gym. Maybe the thought of sweating is just not your thing. The key here is to find ways to move your body in whatever way that looks for you. It could be walking. It could be dancing in your living room. It could be actually taking classes, yoga, Tai Chi, dance. You'll see up on the right-hand side, the photo here is a group of people who are actually doing what's called geocaching, which is sort of like a treasure hunt out in nature. Gets their body moving, gets their mind working, they're out in the nature, and it doesn't feel like fitness. The key here is to find something that gives you joy. And when it gets boring, if you get tired of that thing, is to try and change it up. The beauty with physical activity right now, as you're looking, particularly in the virtual space, there are so many different opportunities and options out there for you to find classes online if you'd like to be at home. If you're more comfortable being in a group, maybe you go to the YMCA or a local gym, a dance center. Find places where you can join together with other people. But think about how you can move your body in ways that make you happy and that don't feel like an effort to you. So I want you to draw a pie chart on your piece of paper here. And in the first little piece of the pie, jot down 2 or 3 ways that you might like to experiment with moving your body. Maybe that's a class. Maybe that's a walk. Maybe that's just wiggling around your living room to some music, which is perfectly fine as well. So just jot down 2 or 3 ways that you can move your body. All right, the second piece of our puzzle is your brain health. And up until recent years, we didn't even realize that you can actually create new brain cells your entire lifespan. And it's often ignored. We don't think about actively working our brains. And so we want to be sure that this is incorporated in your plan in some form or fashion. The good news here is that socialization has a massive impact on brain health. So if you are somebody who likes to be social, this is a fantastic way to exercise your brain. When you think about interacting with other people, you're listening to what they're saying, you're watching their body, their micro expressions, you're developing a response. That's all good for your brain. So socialization has a massive impact on brain health. The second piece is to do something new with your brain regularly. Learn new things. Maybe it's a language, maybe it's a craft. Listen in on a history presentation. Try to do something new with your brain on a regular basis and schedule that out. Put that as part of your plan. And then, of course, just as a side note here, exercise, eat right, get enough sleep, reduce your stress, all good for your brain. And it really is true. If you don't use it, you lose it. So find ways to incorporate brain health into your plan. So in pie piece number 2 here, note some things that you might like to learn or explore or try differently. Are there classes that you'd like to take? Is there a language you'd like to learn? Jot down some things that you could learn or do for your brain in this space. All right, the next piece is meaning and purpose. And this has been showing up more and more in the research lately. Having a reason to get up every single day, something that is meaningful to you, something that's important, a reason to be, as they say. It's been related to improved physical, emotional, and cognitive well-being. And those who feel a greater sense of purpose generally live longer. The natural inclination here is spirituality. For those of you that have a spiritual belief system, that maybe you go to church or you have a congregation, this is a fantastic piece of this meaning and purpose puzzle. But there are also ways to create meaning and purpose in your life. The first is to create new things. Maybe you make art, maybe you write books, maybe you get out in your garden and create beauty. Generating new, beautiful things is a fantastic way to make meaning and purpose in your life. The second is to volunteer. There are nonprofit agencies and people in need all around the world who need our expertise and our support and our help. And there are multiple ways to do that. You can volunteer in person, you can volunteer at home, there are phone-based opportunities. As we move more into the virtual space, there are a lot of new ways to be able to contribute. You could serve on a board of directors. You could mentor someone with your business skills that you've honed through your lifetime. So volunteering is fantastic. And you will always hear people who volunteer say they get more out of it than they give. You also could just focus on the people around you. Who is in need? Who might be sick and need a meal? Who could stand a visit because they're lonely, or a phone call or a letter? Take some time to think about the people in your own space, your family, your friends, your neighbors that might actually need your help, and find ways to help them. Always cultivate curiosity, explore your world. Travel is a great way to do that. Something to look forward to, making plans for the future, that can give you a sense of meaning and purpose. For many who retired, work is still a piece of the puzzle. Work isn't just about money. Work is about feeling valued and being able to contribute in a big way. So maybe you want to take a part-time job so that you can continue to contribute to something. And where it might be a little different than in your younger life, you can be very particular about the kind of work that you do, or the organization that you work for, the company, and really make a difference in a way that's meaningful for you. And find simple pleasures all around you. Do you like to garden? Do you like to sew? Do you like to read books or take hot baths? Find those things that are just simple pleasures for your life. And finally, think about your legacy. What do you want to leave behind? What is the message that you want to share with your family? What do you want people to remember about you? By finding ways to generate a legacy, you can also develop meaning and purpose. So in your third piece of the pie here, jot down a few things that are meaningful or give you purpose, or things that you'd like to explore, like volunteering or helping people, or maybe taking a job. Just take a couple minutes here, a couple seconds. The next piece of our pie is probably what is considered the very most crucial. And by improving our social interaction and relationships, we actually impact all the other pieces of the puzzle here. Social interaction and relationships and social isolation are considered one of the greatest health crises of our time. This is particularly impacted by the coronavirus, but older adults have been impacted by loneliness and isolation for generations. It's just part of what happens sometimes as we get older and our relationships change and people move away and lives move on. And you need to find time to add social interaction into your life. For those who are introverts, this can be challenging because you may just feel like you are just perfectly happy on your own, and that's okay. But the beauty of social interaction is that, again, it works all the other pieces of this important active aging puzzle. It helps you interact with others and get your brain working. You're more likely to move your body if you're out and about, or if you're going to meet with somebody. It gives you meaning and purpose. So social interaction is key as we look at our plans for our active aging life. They say being isolated is the health equivalent of smoking a half a pack of cigarettes every single day. And most of us know better than to do that. So think about how you create social interaction in your world. It can be challenging if you have been more isolated and maybe don't have a natural friend network, but there are a lot of opportunities and ways that you can reach out and find other people to interact with. We'll talk a little bit more about A Mighty Good Time and online classes in a moment. You also could date. You could go to senior centers and libraries, join a congregation, get involved in classes or book clubs. But one key thing I think is important is there are people in your network that maybe you haven't talked to in a while. So reach back out, reconnect with an old friend, find a family member that you'd like to spend more time with, and try that. Start close to you if you're a little bit more uncomfortable with some of these other options. In your social piece of the pie, take a minute and jot down maybe 2 or 3 names of people that you would like to spend a little bit more time with or reconnect with. Our last piece of the pie is fun. According to Dr. Stuart Brown, the founder of the National Institute for Play, nothing lights up the brain like play. And play actually reduces or releases endorphins that create a sense of well-being, opening the brain to new ideas. We don't play as much as we should. When you're a child, this is how you learn. This is how you connect to new friends. This is how you explore the world around you. And we really encourage having fun and playing. It can create a sense of community and belonging, hope and optimism, and it also boosts your immune system. And we need that more than anything. Find ways to laugh and play and be silly and enjoy the world around you. Last piece of the pie. What are some things that might be fun for you? Have you tried something new lately? Have you gone to a comedy show or a theater? Maybe thrown a party? Where can you have a giggle and some fun in your life? So there you have it. You have the beginning workings of a plan for your active aging. It includes fitness, brain health, meaning and purpose, social interaction, and fun. And by putting all these pieces together, you're going to improve your health and well-being, your mood, and just your experience of the world in general. The beauty here, if you get really creative, is that there are things that can impact multiple parts of the puzzle. For example, if you are attending fitness classes at the local YMCA, you are also having fun. You are also being social. You are also doing good work for your brain. So you can find tasks and activities that actually can impact multiple spaces here. So get creative as you think about it and actually plan for this. Don't let your life just come at you. This is a time to be proactive and engaged and to really create a life that you want in a whole new and different way. Once you've got all the pieces, some considerations are, how often do I do these things? Some of this is research-based, some of this is our suggestions. Fitness 3 times a week for at least 30 minutes at a time. This is researched. You want to get your heart rate up and at least be breathing heavily. We encourage brain health, about 90 minutes a week of doing puzzles, games, learning something new, trying something different. Socialization 1 to 3 times a week. I would encourage at bare minimum once a week, whether that's a phone call, having lunch with someone, hopping on a Zoom call. It really does make a difference to your well-being. For meaning and purpose, do little things every single day, something that makes you happy every day. Big things, maybe 2 or 3 times a month that are more planned out. And then fun. I really think once a month, find something to look forward to, some activity, gathering, interaction that just makes it worth your while, that you're looking forward to it all month long. If you are looking for some ideas, you are going to want to try out, if you haven't already, A Mighty Good Time. So amightygoodtime.com is a one-stop shop for older adult activities. We have virtual, in-person, and phone-based activities for you to choose from. There are both free and paid activities on the site, so cost barrier should not be a problem here. And you're going to find everything from art, music, fitness, lifelong learning, volunteer opportunities, spiritual activities. You're going to find a little bit of everything, and you can sort by category, you can sort by area, time and day, and find things that you like. If you sign up for an account, you don't have to, but if you sign up for an account, you can actually favorite your activities and it will save you a list of all the things that you enjoy. And the best thing about A Mighty Good Time is it is totally free for you to use, no catch. It's all about helping people 50 plus find things to do in their world so that they can live a mighty good life. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you are able to put together a plan that works for you. If you have questions or you need help, please do reach out to hello@amightygoodtime.com. We'd be more than happy to answer questions and support you in your journey towards active aging. Thank you, mighty good friends, and we hope you have a mighty good day.